You're researching 20 kilowatt off-grid solar systems. Maybe you've got a rural property in Colorado or Texas where running power lines would cost a fortune. Maybe you're tired of utility companies and you want total energy independence. Or maybe you just watched too many YouTube videos that made off-grid living look like a romantic adventure. Before you spend $60,000 to $100,000 on a 20 kilowatt off-grid system, I need to tell you three things most solar installers won't say out loud. First, that 20 kilowatts of solar panels, that's not your problem. Your battery bank is your problem, and it's going to cost more than the panels. Second, most people searching for off-grid solar would actually be better off with a grid-tied system plus battery backup. Yes, even if you hate your utility company. And third, if you truly do need off-grid, there's a 90% chance you're sizing it wrong, and that mistake is going to cost you thousands of dollars and a lot of frustration. I'm going to walk you through what a 20 kilowatt off-grid system actually costs, what it can and cannot do, and the two myths that cause people to massively overspend or completely undersize their systems. Hey everyone, welcome back to Integrate Sun. I'm not here to sell you off-grid solar. I'm here to give you the engineering reality so you can make the right decision for your situation and your property. Let's start with the question everyone asks first. How much does a 20 kilowatt off-grid solar system actually cost? The answer you'll find on most websites, $40,000 to $60,000. The answer after you actually spec out a system that works, $60,000 to $100,000 plus. Here's why there's such a massive gap between the advertised price and the real price. 20 kilowatts of solar panels, that's roughly 50 to 55 panels depending on wattage. This is the easy part. The panels themselves might cost $12,000 to $15,000. Installation, labor, racking, and wiring adds another $8,000 to $12,000. So we're at about $20,000 to $27,000 for the solar array. That's actually the cheapest part of the system. However, your battery bank will actually cost more than your solar panels. For a 20 kilowatt system supporting a typical household, you need 3 to 5 days of battery autonomy to survive winter storms and cloudy stretches. That means you're looking at 60 to 100 kilowatt hours of lithium battery storage. At current prices, lithium iron phosphate batteries, LiFePO4, cost roughly $400 to $600 per kilowatt hour installed. So we're talking $24,000 to $60,000 just for batteries, and that's assuming you go with quality lithium, not cheap lead acid batteries that I'll explain why you should avoid in a minute. Then thirdly, you need a robust off-grid inverter system. Most installers use something like the SolArc 15K, which handles both solar charging and battery management. You might need 2 of these for a 20 kilowatt array, and cost is around $8,000 to $15,000, including installation and programming. In winter, when you get a week of cloudy weather and your battery bank is draining, that generator is what keeps your lights on and your pipes from freezing. A quality propane or diesel generator with automatic transfer switching will cost you $5,000 to $12,000. Electrical panels, breakers, monitoring systems, permits, engineering, trenching, grounding, all the boring stuff that makes the system actually work and pass inspection. Add another $8,000 to $12,000. So the total realistic cost is around $60,000 to $75,000. A well-designed system with proper autonomy will cost around $75,000 to $95,000. And we haven't even talked about ongoing costs. Generator fuel, battery replacements in 10 to 15 years, and annual maintenance. Compare this to extending the grid. If the power company wants $20,000 to $40,000 to run lines to your property, that might actually be the cheaper option when you factor in long-term costs. Now let's bust the first major myth that causes people to get blindsided after they install an off-grid system. One thing you hear people say is, once I have 20 kilowatts of solar and a big battery bank, I can use electricity just like I do on the grid. I'll never worry about power again. Well, the reality is that off-grid living requires a fundamental shift to a finite energy budget, and it often demands significant lifestyle changes that nobody warned you about. Let me explain what this actually means. When you're on the grid, electricity feels unlimited. You flip a switch, power flows, and you get a bill at the end of the month. If you use more than expected, the bill goes up, but the lights stay on. But for off-grid, you have a hard cap. Your battery bank holds a specific amount of energy, let's say 80 kilowatt hours. If you drain it, you're out of power until the sun comes back or you fire up the generator. And the question you should ask is, am I actually prepared to manage a finite energy budget, or do I just want backup power during outages while keeping grid convenience? If the answer is the latter, you don't want off-grid. You want grid-tied with battery backup. which costs $30,000 to $50,000 less and gives you the best of both worlds. The second myth that costs people thousands of dollars is the belief that lead-acid batteries save money. Lead-acid batteries are almost always more expensive over the system's lifetime, and they come with serious performance limitations that lithium doesn't have. Let me break down why. A 10 kilowatt hour lead-acid battery does not give you 10 kilowatt hours of usable power. Lead-acid batteries suffer permanent damage if you discharge them below 50% capacity. So that 10 kilowatt hours battery, you can only safely use 5 kilowatt hours before you need to stop. However, for lithium iron phosphate batteries, you can safely use 80 to 90% of their rated capacity. A 10 kilowatt hour lithium battery gives you 8 to 9 kilowatt hours of usable power. To get the same usable capacity, you need twice as many lead-acid batteries as lithium. Studies show that lithium batteries deliver 64 to 75% lower total cost of ownership over a 10-year period compared to lead-acid, even though they cost more upfront. If an installer is trying to sell you lead-acid batteries to save money, they're either uninformed or they're trying to win the bid with a low upfront price, and you'll pay for it later. The only exception lead-acid can make sense if you're doing a small backup-only system that rarely cycles, like a cabin you visit occasionally. But for a primary residence running off-grid, lithium is the only financially smart choice. There's one more thing you need to know if you're considering off-grid in 2026. New fire codes are making large battery installations significantly more expensive. As of 2026, residential energy storage systems are subject to strict fire safety regulations under NFPA 855. The key limits are 1. Garage installations, 80 kilowatt hours maximum, and 2. Utility room indoor closets, 40 kilowatt hours maximum. This is what it means for off-grid. Remember earlier when I said a robust off-grid system needs 60 to 100 kilowatt hours of battery storage for proper autonomy? If you exceed these caps, you trigger commercial-grade fire suppression requirements, and cost impact easily adds $10,000 to $20,000 to your installation. The workaround you can do is to install batteries in a detached outdoor structure, shed, garage, with proper ventilation. But now you're adding construction costs for that building. Grid-tied systems dodge this problem because they rarely need more than 20 to 40 kilowatt hours of storage, just enough for critical load backup, which easily stays under the regulatory caps. If you've made it this far and you're still convinced you need off-grid, let me show you how to size it correctly because most people get this backward. Step 1. Calculate your daily energy consumption. Look at your winter electric bills. If you're using 40 kilowatt hours per day, that's your baseline. Step 2. Add a 20 to 30% safety margin. Things always use more power than you expect. Plan for 50 kilowatt hours per day. Step 3. Size your battery bank for 3 to 5 days autonomy. 50 kilowatt hours per day times 3 days equals 150 kilowatt hours of battery storage. But remember, lithium gives you 80 to 90% usable capacity. So you actually need 150 divided by 0.85 equals 176 kilowatt hours of rated battery capacity, and that's a huge battery bank, and expensive. Step 4. Size your solar array to recharge batteries in one good sun day. In winter, you might get 3 to 4 peak sun hours per day in Colorado or Texas. To recharge 150 kilowatt hours in 4 hours. 150 divided by 4 equals 37.5 kilowatts of solar needed. Wait, didn't we start by saying 20 kilowatts? See the problem? The compromise most people make is that they install 15 to 20 kilowatts of solar, then install 60 to 80 kilowatt hours of lithium batteries, just under NFPA limits. You should accept that you'll need to run a generator 10 to 20 hours per week in winter, then adjust your lifestyle to reduce consumption during cloudy periods. That's real off-grid living, not the romanticized version. The version that actually works. Look, I'm not trying to talk you out of off-grid solar if you genuinely need it. We install off-grid systems for customers in remote Texas, Colorado, and Arizona properties where the grid just doesn't reach. But I am trying to make sure you go into this decision with realistic expectations about costs, lifestyle changes, and whether you actually need true off-grid, or if grid tied with battery backup is the smarter play. Here's what I want you to do. At Integrate Sun, we offer free off-grid versus grid-tied comparison consultations. We'll analyze your situation. We'll tell you honestly if off-grid makes sense for you or you should save $40,000 and stay grid-tied with backup. Link in the description to schedule your free consultation. And if you're still researching, check out our video on how long do home batteries really last and Tesla Powerwall 3 versus off-grid battery banks. both linked on screen now. Thanks for watching, and remember, the goal isn't to be off-grid. The goal is to have reliable, affordable power that fits your life. Sometimes that's off-grid, usually it's not. See you in the next one.